Parak Yesh Nochlin Daf Kuf Lamed Beis, sponsored Refuah Shalem of 4, Mordechai Tzvi ben Rush Chana. The Gemara discusses a father or husband who bequeaths his whole estate to one person. Is he honoring them as administrator of his estate or making them the only recipient? Number 1, a wife. Shmuel holds he appoints her as administrator. The Chachamim determined the father would not deprive his sons his whole estate for the sake of his wife. Therefore, the assumption is he appointed her administrator, so his sons would continue to respect her after his death. Number 2, the eldest son. The Chachamim determined a father would not deprive his other sons for the sake of his eldest. He appointed him administrator to encourage his other sons to honor their older brother. Number 3, the youngest son. Although the father would not encourage the other brothers to honor him, we assume even in his crib the father appointed him administrator not to deprive the other sons. Number 4, an outsider. Father does not care about his sons honoring him. Therefore, we assume he gifted his estate to him. Number 5, his engaged or divorced wife. The father is not close to these women and not concerned about his children honoring them. He therefore gifted it to either of them. Questionable cases. Number 1, daughter in places of sons. Perhaps the father wanted to honor her just as the Chachamim require sons to beg for their livelihood before daughters. Or perhaps this honor is different. Father considers brothers honoring a sister excessive. He would not gift to her his estate for that purpose. Number 2, wife where there are brothers. Though they have no obligation to honor her, perhaps the husband wanted them to honor her as an extension of him. Number 3, a wife in place of her stepsons. Since they are obligated to honor her, he appoints her administrator to encourage them. Or since the obligation is not well known, both of them do not care. Therefore, his transfer is a gift. Both Ravina and Ravavira hold the father appointed the wife in place of brothers and stepsons as administrator. They dispute a daughter in place of sons. Ravina holds he designated her as administrator, Ravavira as a gift. Rava questions Shmuel's ruling that the wife and son are designated administrators, whether it applies only for a shchid meirav, one seriously ill, or even one healthy. One could argue as long as he is alive, he is not concerned about their honor, or perhaps he wants them to begin honoring them in his lifetime to carry on after he dies. The Gemara leaves this unresolved. The Gemara brings a dispute in a brisa if a husband transferred his estate to his wife. Does she relinquish her lien on his property to collect her ksuba? Rabbi Eliezer holds even though she accepted his property as a gift, she never relinquished rights to collect her ksuba. Therefore, an outstanding debt does not cause her to forfeit her lien that preceded it. Chachamim disagree. She forfeits her ksuba rights. Her only option is to contest the debt. She loses her claim to it as a gift and the lien to her ksuba. Rav Nachman decided in favor of the Chachamim. Apparently, it does not hold we assess her mindset. Certainly, she would not relinquish her lien. This contradicts another decision of Rav Nachman. He decided in favor of Rabbi Shimon ben Manasseh in a case where a father transferred his estate to others mistakenly hearing his son died. His gift is null and void. Apparently, it does consider the mindset of the giver. The Gemara answers our case is different. A wife is willing to risk a loss of her lien for the honor of receiving her husband's whole estate. Mishnah states in Peah, a husband transfers most of his estate to his sons, leaving even a small amount to his wife. She forfeits her ksuba. Rav explains she offered her personal object to transfer the son's shares. Her participation indicates her consent for them to receive their portions at the expense of her lien. Shmuel holds even if she did not participate, as long as she was present and did not protest her husband's distribution, she forfeits her lien. Rabbi Yosef Reb Chanina holds even if she was not present, as long as when the husband gave her the land as her ksuba and she did not protest the gift, she forfeits her lien. According to all opinions, this is a leniency. She did not relinquish her lien explicitly required by other debts. The Gemara rejects all these opinions from the continuation of that Mishnah. Rabbi Yossi states, as long as the wife verbally forgoes her lien, even if she did not receive any of his estate, she loses her right to her lien. Apparently, the Tanna Kama requires, in addition to the gift, a verbal declaration that she forgoes her lien. Rav Nachman agrees with Rabbi Yossi. She relinquishes rights to her lien if she is awarded a share together with the sons. The Gemara leaves unresolved whether Rabbi Yossi's ruling is only for a shchid meirav. She knows the husband will probably not acquire any more property and still remain silent, indicates she waives her lien on those properties bequeathed to his sons. However, when he is healthy, it is not an indication. Perhaps she did not want to aggravate him, knowing he will most likely acquire other property from where she will be able to collect her ksuba. The Gemara questions whether a wife relinquishes her lien for produce. Shmuel holds she waives her rights only if she receives land or gives her rights to fruits of a tree until it dies. A husband allocated 2/3 to his daughters and 1/3 to his wife. She relinquished her lien on the daughter's portions for a share in the estate. One daughter died, her share reverted to the father. Rav Papi held, since the wife relinquished her right to it, she could not collect from it even though it returned to her husband. Rav Kahana holds, if the husband acquired new properties, they would be subject to a lien because the wife never forfeited her ksuba. There's no difference between a new property and the deceased daughters that reverted to him. If you're enjoying Daf and 5, please click on the link below, subscribe, and become a sponsor. Thank you.